Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we really get into the insights from the articles and notes you sent our way. And today, well, we're tackling something I think everyone struggles with sometimes, the cost of delay. It often hides right there. Our focus comes mainly from this really potent piece called The Cost of Waiting. Open Your Letter, Our Mission, to uncover not just the obvious money side, but the bigger impacts of putting things off. You might have some real aha moments
Oh,
today.
absolutely. This is such a critical deep dive for anyone feeling, well, stuck. Whether it's business, career, even personal stuff. We're really going to dissect why doing nothing can actually be way worse than, making a mistake or failing. Think of this as a shortcut to understanding why you need to act on certain things, maybe things you've been avoiding. The source material frames it really well, tying it to Mindful Mondays, this idea of proactive choices, and it uses the color red symbolically. Not just a color, but standing for foundation, grounding, courage, really. It's a direct call. Stop hiding, stop stalling, begin here. We're going to explore what that actually means for you.
Okay, right. Let's unpack this. The source gives a fantastic real-world example. Tanya the baker. So picture this. Tanya, incredibly talented. Her cakes, apparently legendary. People would queue up for her food truck. Flawless presentation, recipes everyone wanted. But behind all that skill, the business itself was, well, struggling. Crumbling, actually. It's a common story, isn't it? Great talent, but trouble making it sustainable.
Exactly. It's a perfect illustration. And what's fascinating about Tanya's situation wasn't her product. That was clearly top-notch. No, her challenge was all about the process, or rather, putting off key steps. The source points out that for the bigger contracts, she wanted schools, weddings, corporate gigs. She needed basic paperwork, things like a proper business license, a verifiable business address, and this is crucial, a capability statement.
Okay, hold on a second. A capability statement. For listeners maybe not in that world, what exactly is that?
Good question. Yeah, basically, it's your business's CV, a snapshot. It's this concise document outlining what your company does well, your track record, what makes you unique, how you can deliver, especially if you want to work with government or big corporations. It's essential, non-negotiable, really. Without it, you just don't get looked at, no matter how good your cakes are. For Tanya, these weren't impossible tasks, just admin stuff she kept delaying. And the source really paints a picture of her watching others, maybe less talented, but with their paperwork sorted, grab those exact opportunities. That costs her money, sure, but also momentum. And, the sheer frustration of feeling stuck.
Yeah, that image. Watching someone else get your dream just because of some forms. That's harsh. But, okay, here's the positive shift in Tanya's story. When she finally, as the source puts it, opened her letter, when she faced those forms, did the work, got her business properly set up, everything changed. Almost overnight, it seems. Contracts started coming in, opportunities appeared, her business finally started reflecting her talent. It really shows that sometimes the biggest hurdle is just the one we build up in our own minds, right?
Precisely. And Tanya's story ties straight into this bigger lesson from the source. Silence is heavier than failure. What that really means is, well, the anxiety, the mental energy we spend imagining how hard a task will be, that's often way heavier, way more draining than the quiet burden of just not doing it. Think about it. Fear of failure stops us starting, but the real failure, the actual loss, often lies in never starting at all, that silence of inaction. It doesn't just mean a missed chance, it slowly eats away at potential, confidence, even joy. It's that nagging feeling, isn't it? Something left undone, humming in the background. That weight, that unopened letter can be more paralyzing than just doing the thing. Or even trying and, not getting it perfect first time. At least with action, you learn, you adapt, you move. With silence, you just kind of drift.
That really lands. We tell ourselves it'll be too hard or we might mess up. But the argument here is the cost of not facing that fear is actually much, much higher. So, okay, we have Tanya's story, the psychological cost. How does the source connect this to something more concrete, like financials, for everyone listening?
Right, and this is where it gets really eye-opening for business owners, entrepreneurs, anyone really. The source moves from Tanya's story to the hard financial facts of delay, using a principle everyone should know, the Rule of 72. It sounds technical, maybe, but it's incredibly clear and the implications are just huge.
The Rule of 72. Okay, sounds a bit like math homework, but I suspect you're going to make it very relevant. Lay it on us.
Exactly. It's surprisingly straightforward. Basically, you take the number 72, you divide it by your annual rate of return or your growth rate. The answer tells you roughly how many years it'll take for your investment or your effort to double. And the source gives these really vivid examples that just hit home. Say you're investing or your business is growing at a pretty good 12% annual rate. Your money or your business value doubles in just 6 years. 6. Think about that speed.
6 years to double, that's pretty motivating. A real incentive to get moving.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, flip side. Consider what Tanya was doing, what many of us do without realizing. If that letter stays sealed, if your money's just parked in a low-yield account earning, say, 1% interest, it takes, wait for it, 72 years for that money to double. 72 years. That's practically a whole lifetime for many people. The difference between 6 and 72 years, that's the compounding cost of delay, stark naked.
Wow. Okay, that difference is, it's almost hard to wrap your head around. And you're saying this isn't just about cash in the bank, right? The source applies this more broadly to business growth itself.
Precisely. Yeah, this isn't just Finance 101. The source makes it clear this rule applies just as much to business growth, to opportunity. Think about building your network. If you consistently put in the effort, connect, nurture relationships, that network grows, right? Its value compounds, doors open. Delay that networking. You're not just missing one connection, you're missing the exponential growth that comes from a strong network. Or learning a new skill. Small, consistent efforts compound into mastery way faster than putting it off. Delay, in any of these contexts, costs you compounding growth, that exponential curve. It's the difference between a business that's always refining, investing, expanding, versus one that just waits, hesitates, flatlines. The cost isn't just a dollar missed today, it's a whole future trajectory missed.
Right. So bring this right back to our listener listening right now. The source asks this really direct question I want you to think about. What's your unopened letter? Seriously, what is it? We heard about Tanya's license, her capability statement. What's yours? Is it that grant application sitting there, half done, the deadline getting closer? Maybe a sponsorship form that could give your business amazing exposure? Or is it, maybe, that tough conversation you need to have, that strategic plan you know you need but haven't started? The message is just so clear. Waiting is expensive. It's not just what you might gain by acting, it's what you are actively, definitely losing by not acting. Every single day that letter stays shut, the opportunity shrinks. Its compounding potential evaporates.
And it's not just about your own bottom line, although that's important, of course. The source really broadens this idea out. It emphasizes that the chance to act is now, and it connects individual action to community impact, to legacy. When you delay, you're not just holding yourself back. You might be holding back the people, the causes, the community that could benefit from your action. Your leadership, your resources, your contribution, even if it feels small, has ripple effects. It compounds for others too. Taking action creates positive change that goes way beyond just you. It helps shape the world around you. That's how you build a real legacy.
Which leads us neatly to a specific, concrete call to action mentioned in the source. It's an invitation for business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, anyone listening, really, to step up, to engage. The source highlights the Veterans Ball happening November 15th at Ruth Eckerd Hall. Now, this isn't just presented as another event. It's framed as a real chance to live these principles, to support those who gave everything, give back, show up for veterans meaningfully. It's like opening a communal letter, taking collective action.
Yeah, and the source makes it practical, too. For listeners who feel, okay, I want to do something now, it gives details. You can call Kathy Hare directly. The number is 813-363-7958. To donate, maybe secure a sponsorship for your business, or just align your company with this platform. And what's really interesting is how the source frames it. It's not just charity. It's about building legacy. It stresses that getting involved isn't a handout. It's an investment in something lasting. For your business reputation, sure, but also for the community's well-being. Honoring veterans, strengthening foundations. It's about being part of something bigger, and the goodwill and impact that generates. Well, that compounds too.
And talking about legacy and impact through action, the source also puts a spotlight on a couple of great examples, people really doing this stuff. First, Kathy Hare herself, with the unique umbrella effect. Her work seems to be all about opening those crucial letters, aligning resources, building platforms where businesses scale and veterans are honored, creating this symbiotic growth, really.
Exactly. And then there's LaDawn and Anne of LDS Photography, also in the spotlight. Their business is such a powerful example of how structure and creativity aren't opposites. They work together. Their meticulous approach, combined with their artistry, lets them build legacies through their photography. They really embody taking intentional action, aligning talent with strategy, creating significant impact that grows over time. Both these examples just show when you stop waiting, when you actively engage, the results can be transformative, not just for you, but for everyone you touch.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, let's hold on to that core truth from the source. Delay costs more than failure ever will. That weight of inaction, it's often so much heavier, so much more damaging than just trying, even if you stumble. So stop waiting. Figure out what your letter is, open it, Build your foundation not just for yourself, but to support and enrich your community. The chance to act, to make that impact, to capture that compounding growth. It's right here, right now.
And maybe just one final thought to chew on after this deep dive. How might really consciously recognizing the true compounding cost of waiting, how might that fundamentally change your approach to opportunities that pop up this week? Think beyond just the money. How could leaning in immediately to challenges, applications, conversations, actively start building your personal and community legacy, maybe in ways you haven't even considered yet? Just that awareness, that alone could shift your whole path forward.